All right, let's bring in Dan Bongino, host of Unfiltered and a former police officer here in New York City. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Dan,
ladies, how are you?
On this Monday, we're not doing so well. You look at the news, a brand new Fox News poll. Number one thing people are all across the country concerned with is inflation. Number two, and really close behind it, is people are worried about crime. And over the weekend, 4 police officers shot, 2 dead, 1 is just clinging to life by a thread. There's a cop shot in D.C. yesterday. A Texas, he thankfully has been released from the hospital. There's a Texas deputy constable. He was murdered. And then you had the ambush up in Harlem where the rookie officer Jason Rivera and his partner Wilbert Mora, he is just hanging by a thread. But it's one of those days, and you see the police officer who died. Dan, this is one of those days that you talk about, that you always worry about when you put on the badge.
Yeah, and their families worry about it. It's not just them; it's the spouses, the moms, the dads, and the kids that worry. I mean, think about it, right? You leave the house. How many jobs in America do you genuinely have to be concerned that you're going to come home that night? And the answer is, thankfully, not many. There are some that are very dangerous, but this is one of them. And guys, listen, let's just be clear, okay? Again, it's Monday morning and all, but the cutesy time about this is over, okay? You want to play like cutesy time with the messaging, find another guy, because ain't the guy
guns
right now.
He's saying guns are the problem.
No, so guns are the problem. Okay, so let's walk through the logic of that asinine statement. So just to be clear, New York City has some of the strictest gun laws in the nation.
Exactly.
And his logic is that people go and buy guns in permissive states where you can get a gun, and they don't commit the crime there. They go to a place where the gun laws are really strict. Has anybody processed how, be careful, it's the word, how stupid that is? Just to be clear, one more time, Brian. So Eric Adams, the supposed change agent in New York, who's just more of the same, I'm telling you, watch when there's the first police shooting. This guy will bail on every one of these reforms. His logic is, people go and buy guns in other states where you can protect yourself and commit crimes where the gun laws are more severe. And the logic is we should then make more severe gun laws. And that makes perfect sense to him. Here, but on this front, though, this is important, right? People voted for this. That's why I said, you want to play cutesy time with these folks? Fine, you go right ahead. Alvin Bragg, the new Soros type, don't enforce any, minor crimes, whatever he considers minor crimes guy. He won, guys, by 60 points. No, not 6. I didn't misspeak, not 16. So to the people in Manhattan, I'm not talking to the good folks who are sick of this crap, but the people in Manhattan and around the 5 boroughs, you did this. You did it. Yes, I'm pointing at you. You voted for it. You wanted it. Bragg ran on it. You did it by 60 points. You voted for it. You want to change it? Stop voting for this crap. And please, God, don't move down here and bring this garbage down here to Florida and vote for this crap down here. You want to vote for chaos in the streets? You do it in New York City. Stay the hell out of these states where we actually care about safety.
Dan, we've heard time and time again from some of these victims' parents. They say, what about my child who was murdered? The young lady out in California. He had a long rap sheet. The dad comes on Fox and Friends and says, don't forget about the victims. Why are you protecting the criminals and not looking after the victims here and protecting my little girl? Or you have the girl who was pregnant with twins set on fire by her boyfriend, and 60% of her body is burned. They're not sure if the babies will survive. And that guy, he got out on, what, a $5,000 bond? And then look at this. This is the front cover of the New York Post this morning. This is the 22-year-old officer that was killed in Harlem. He just got married in October, and his fiance, his widow, is now writing, they're young, they had their whole lives ahead of them, is writing my angel, and she says, I will love you until the day I die. What about the victims?
Yeah. Ainsley, when I got on the NYPD in 1995, I was 21. So, you factor in the police academy, and I would have been out on the street roughly as a cadet when I was about 22 years old. As a police officer about a year later. I mean, look at all that's happened to me. I said this on Fox and Friends this weekend. In those 20 years, right? I'm 47 now. I mean, so much stuff has happened in my life. That stuff will never, ever happen to this hero who died. He was 22, guys.
Right.
He was 22 years old. He will never know the experience of being a grandparent. He will never have any of all of these photos he could have had with his kids at adventure parks and birthdays and confirmations and communions and ceremonies he may have had, whatever, with his kids. Those pictures will never happen.